This episode of Mobile Geeks is brought to you by GoToMeeting. Hi, my name is Nicole Scott from Mobile Geeks, and today I'm going to be reviewing the ASUS Fonepad. This is a 7-inch tablet pretending to be a smartphone. The 7-inch device has an IPS LCD capacitive display, which has a resolution of 1280 by 800 and a pixel density of 216. Under the hood, we've got a 1.2 GHz Intel Atom Z2420, which has 1 GB of RAM. It's running Android Jelly Bean 4.1 and has HSPA Plus radio. The 4,270 mAh battery gave us an impressive 12.5 to 13 hours of battery life, which is pretty much more than every smartphone on the market except the Note 2. ASUS Fonepad offers quad-band GSM and acts like a 3G phone that has Wi-Fi and Bluetooth 3.0, not 4.0, so it's going to use a little bit more power. We even have AGPS with GLONASS support. Taking a look around the system, we have a power button, volume rocker. At the bottom, we have a headphone jack and micro USB port. Along this side, we don't have anything. We have a 3-megapixel camera and a noise-canceling microphone just above. If we pop off the top, you can see that we have a micro SD card slot as well as a micro SIM card slot. And on the front, we actually also have a 1-megapixel camera. You can see here at the top beside the camera that there is a very large speaker grill because you can use this as a smartphone. ASUS has preloaded a lot of their standard apps like Instant Dictionary, ASUS Audio Wizard, SuperNote Lite, and ASUS Splendid, which we think is very interesting because the Fonepad has an average display. So it's nice that we're able to tweak it and customize it for just the way we want to see it. But the most important software detail on this device is that it's running Android 4.1 Jelly Bean, and ASUS has done a fantastic job of keeping it pretty vanilla. They've added a few goodies which I love, like the settings packed notification bar, and there are some nice widgets as well. So how is this device going to perform? The Intel Atom Z2420 is a 1.2 GHz processor, and it's not going to be winning any races. The Fonepad managed a very respectable 1545 in SunSpider's JavaScript benchmark, which means that we're going to be seeing some very decent web browsing speeds. But when it comes to graphics benchmarks, we're seeing a very below average 2215 in 3D Mark, which is roughly 1,000 points less than the Nexus 7. So graphic intensive gaming isn't something that we're going to recommend. But if you're a casual gamer, Angry Birds, Candy Crush, you won't have any issues. But when we were trying to play Dead Trigger, we kept on getting crashes, which could have something to do with porting ARM-based applications onto x86. But regardless, if you have to have your first-person shooter games, this is not the tablet for you. So what did we love about the Fonepad? Well, since this is meant to be a smartphone, we actually loved the call quality. There's a great huge speaker on the front, and you can even see there's a small noise-canceling microphone on the back. We loved ASUS's customizations to Android. It's clean and useful, and they've even added a 4th navigation button that brings up a large set of shortcuts. You can actually customize which shortcuts you want to appear in this bottom row, and there are even floating apps, so you can use multiple applications at the same time. Now the display offers a good resolution, but it's not a high-end display. So ASUS offers you ASUS Splendid, which can make your display feel a little more quality than it actually is. Vivid will actually bump the contrast, and you can make it warmer or cooler depending on your preference. We also found the speaker on the back offered pretty decent sound. If you wanted just to listen to something casually, it's not a problem at all. Now, if you're wondering about the 3-megapixel camera on the rear, it offers average photos. We actually have a video test right over here if you want to take a look at the video quality. So what didn't we love? The ASUS Fonepad has a PowerVR SGX 540 GPU, which to be honest offers middle-of-the-range road graphics compared to other tablets today. This means that if you want to play high-end graphic gaming, this is not the tablet for you. If you want to play casual games, if you want to consume media, if you want to surf the web, if you want to do email, absolutely no problem. We watched a ton of movies on here. We went with MX Player, which plays all file formats, and we didn't even have any issues when we were playing high-rate MKV files. I think the biggest drawback of this tablet, besides the performance, is going to be that it doesn't have a scratch-proof exterior. So the glass is not scratch-proof, and the rear metal seems a little bit vulnerable. So this is going to make your device look pretty worn pretty quickly in a short period of time if you don't get some aftermarket protection. Sensor-wise, we do wish that they had a few more on board. NFC is missing, and so is the 5 GHz band on Wi-Fi. Before we get into the final verdict, why don't we hear from our sponsor? If you spend any time traveling for business, you'll know how much more you get done when the entire team is working together on a project. If you haven't already, checked out GoToMeeting with HD Faces. Share the same screen so you all stay on the same page. The built-in HD video conferencing makes it feel like everyone is in the same room, and since you are sharing the same screen, everyone stays on the same page. Launch or join a meeting from anywhere using your computer, smartphone, or tablet, and you can even present from your iPad. Try GoToMeeting free for 30 days. Visit gotomeeting.com, click the Try It Free button, and use the promo code GEEKS. Remember to use the promo code GEEKS to support our show. So, what's the verdict? Considering ASUS's track record, we really aren't surprised that the Fonepad is a fantastic budget tablet. It has the same dimension and resolution display as the Nexus 7, but it has added advantages of better battery life, SIM card, and micro SD card slot. The one thing that I think we should remember is that this device is also heading to emerging markets where people might only be able to afford one device. So if you grab a Bluetooth headset, then you won't feel silly talking on a 7-inch tablet. If you're looking for a 3G tablet, I might consider this one because of the sub $300 price point, and it's got really long battery life. The Fonepad offers good enough performance for general use. You might want to consider the Nexus 7 if you can't give up your graphic-intensive games. For reading, social networking, emails, audio, video, and general web use, the Fonepad is more than good enough. And the battery life ensures that you won't be charging halfway through the day. For anyone looking for a Wi-Fi only Android tablet, I would encourage you to think about getting this one with 3G support. It really changes the way that you use your device when you can be always on all the time. If you're thinking about picking up the ASUS Fonepad, I think there's really only one question that you have to ask yourself. How important is graphic intensive gaming to you? If it's not at all, absolutely no problem. If it's something you have to have, you might want to think about the Nexus 7. So I'm Nicole Scott for Mobile Geeks, taking a look at the ASUS Fonepad.